In this video, we're going to use AI to figure out exactly where your business is bleeding money. Then we're going to use AI to fix it. And we're going to use AI to actually implement the fix. Now, before we go any further, this is specifically for people who have businesses and you're getting customers and leads every day, and you got a lot going on, and maybe you've hit a plateau and you just want to know what to do next. So, if that's you, then what you're going to see in this video can literally change your entire business, potentially even in a day. And if you're skeptical, it's understandable. I would be too. You might have used AI in the past. It probably gave you like generic answers that didn't really do you any good. And the reason that happens is because your business is unique. Your cost to acquire a customer is unique. Your sales process is unique. Your margins are unique. Your conversion rates at every stage in your sales process are unique. So AI doesn't really know all that stuff. So, of course, it's going to give you generic advice. And usually, what happens is when we hit a plateau, we tend to think the business is broken. I got to rebuild everything. And that's really common. The good news is it's probably not broken at all. Usually, there's one little thing that's wrong. And if we just find that one little thing and fix it, then the entire business changes. For example, you could be running ads and your click-through rate is amazing, your cost per click is great, but then when they hit your opt-in page, they don't opt in. Or maybe they're going to your sales letter and they're starting to order, but when they get to the actual order form, the order form doesn't convert or whatever. The real thing that moves the needle is finding what that one little thing is that's causing the roadblock, so to speak, and then just fixing it. And then usually everything's cool after that. But the problem is, even if you give all the information about how your business works and all the conversion data and all that stuff, it's still not really going to know what the actual fix is for it because it's just not programmed to know that stuff. That's why we built Ojoy.ai, and specifically this one tool within Ojoy. This tool will help you figure out all the stuff that's going on in your business, and then it will find that one thing that you can do right now to generate revenue as fast as possible, and it'll tell you what it is, and it will actually implement it for you. So let's get into it. Here I am at Ojoy.ai. I'm within the right tools, and I'm just going to say something like, I want to make more sales, which is exactly what we typically say when we go to AI and try to get something accomplished. We're like super vague, like, I want to get more sales. Of course, we're not going to get results if we don't be more specific. So it wants me to be more specific, so I will. I want to make $35,000 in extra revenue in the next 14 days. All right. So I'm just going to use a random business, not my own. In this case, we'll assume I'm selling high ticket stuff because high ticket sales processes are different than e-com sales processes, and they're different from this sales letter to info product processes, and they're different from software processes, which is the business I own. So we'll just pretend I'm selling high ticket stuff. All right. You want to give it as much info as you can, but if you don't know what info to give it, you're set because it will actually ask you the specific things that it needs in order to do a good job. In this case, it just wants to know the current state of the business. What are you doing now? How do you get customers currently? This is its way of eventually finding out how the sales process works. So I run ads on Facebook, and it goes to an automated webinar. So they register for the webinar. They can attend the automated webinar. If they watch it and they get to the right part of the webinar, it gives my offer, which is a high ticket coaching program. And then they can click a button, fill out an application, and book a call with me. All right. Now, it doesn't matter what your sales process is. You just want to tell it, so it can figure out the one thing to do right now to get you as much revenue as possible. So now it is doing exactly what good marketing consultant would do, which is to begin the process of reverse engineering what needs to happen in order to hit this goal. It establishes how everything works, and then it's like, okay, what's the price? Because that determines how many sales we need to make. And then how many people are you getting right now? This is going to lead into it figuring out the actual math for each part of your sales process, because there's a good chance you don't have that actual math just laying around. So anyway, my coaching program costs $4,800, and I'm getting around 6 people per month on average. Now it has figured out how much I'm making in revenue, and now it's figured out how many extra sales I need. So now it's looking for a way to find the fastest path from where I am now to where I want to be. So it's trying to find out more about what we have to work with. AI needs to be able to understand what you have in your arsenal, so to speak, that you can use immediately to hit your goals. In this case, 35 grand in 2 weeks. So I'm just going to make stuff up. My email list is about 7,500 people, and I don't have a lot of followers on social media. Maybe, I don't know, 16,000 combined. All right. So tells me it understands, which is great. And now this is doing what any good marketing consultant would do, which is to kind of get to, hey, what has worked really well, and why don't we do that again? Because a lot of times that's the most obvious thing to do. So in this case, I don't want to make it that easy. So let's say, it's weird. Every month has always been consistent. It's kind of like I'm just stuck at this one income level, and I want to get more money now. So, as you can see, it is once again doing what a real marketing consultant would do, which is moving on to the next logical thing, which is like, okay, what's the next simplest, immediately deployable thing we could do to help this person reach their income targets? And in this case, because I told it that I have an email list, it's like, all right, do you ever promote stuff to your list? So I'll answer it. Here's what happens with the list. People register for the webinar and it's automated. So I'll send them like 3 or 4 reminders, and maybe 30% of people show up. I really don't know for sure. And I send them like 3-day email sequence to say, hey, go watch the replay. And after that, I send them like a weekly newsletter. And I'll put a little link at the end going like, hey, go watch the webinar again or whatever. Okay. Now it's making me clarify. And this is important because if you use, regular AI, chat GPT or whatever, they don't really know to dig and see if you've actually done real promotions or not, which is why you get bad advice, or at the very least, kind of generic one size fits all stuff. So in this case, I was like, dude, have you ever done a promotion to them? And I will answer, no, I've never done anything like that. All I do is on my weekly newsletter thing. It's not a big push. It's kind of like in the PS, and I don't actually send a weekly newsletter every week, but when I do, it's that. And it's like, all right, dude, you got 7,500 people, and they know you, and you're not trying to sell them anything other than occasionally telling them to go watch the webinar. And now it's kind of confirming, and it wants to know, all right, how many of these people have bought and how many haven't? So I'll tell it, man, I don't know. I don't really track the people who attend or anything. So figure 100 people have purchased and the rest haven't. So this is a good recommendation. Do a flash sale to your list. So here's what it's done. It's figured out that the bottleneck is we're just not following up with people. Great. So instead of saying hey, you should follow up with people, it's given us a plan of action. Now, this is where you, me, everybody need to understand that even the best AI on the planet is a partner for you. It's not a replacement. So in this case, this is a great plan. 2.5-day flash sale and all that. But If this were my business personally, I wouldn't want to talk to somebody on the phone unless they saw the dang webinar. Because if they don't see the webinar and then they don't know what the offer is, they might not be qualified. Now I'm going to be talking to someone who just wants to talk. And I don't like talking to people. So I'm going to push back here. So check it out. Okay, I like this plan in general. Here's the sticking point. I will not talk to somebody unless they've watched the webinar. And the reason I'm so adamant about that is because the webinar educates them on why their problem is happening, how important it is to solve it, and it explains my program. So if they don't already know that stuff, I'm going to end up speaking with a whole lot of people that aren't qualified. I'm going to waste a lot of time. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm cool with sending more email. All right. So it understands, okay, we got to get them on the webinar. And number two, it's like, all right, I default to 2.5 days because that is proven to work best, which it is, by the way, specifically for flash sales and deadline sequences and stuff like that. But it's like, you could do more if you want to. And it's recommending, hey, keep it at 2.5 or 3 days and make it clear that they got to watch the webinar and book a call in order to get the special offer. So if you remember earlier, it was like, hey, we need to give them some kind of special offer, payment plan, discount, whatever it may be. Let's just pretend that we don't know what to do. So check this out. Okay, I need your advice on something. I like all of this. I need to figure out how to make a special offer. I don't reveal the price on the webinar. That's deliberate, and I'm not willing to change the webinar because I don't have time to do it. A discount won't work because they don't know what the price to begin with is. Therefore, I need your help in coming up with ways to make this truly unique without me having to change my webinar or anything like that. So this is great. It will actually tell you exactly what to do and help you freaking implement it. In this case, it's telling us to make a bonus. It's asking me, what topic would make sense as a bonus for your audience? What do they care the most about? They really care about getting qualified leads. That's really super important to them. Great. All right. Now it's telling us what to do. Sit down with your phone or laptop, talking about 3 or 5 specific tactics and stuff. And that's the bonus. All right. That's great. So check this out. I'm going to do like anyone. Okay. I like your idea, but it'd be way easier for me if I had an outline or something, or even if it was written, instead of a voice recording, because I don't have a studio or whatever, and the phone like might not sound good, and then I have to edit the audio and all that kind of stuff. Great. And now it's telling us how to actually get this done, which is to go to Project Shepherd, which is the writing tool in Ojoy. Tell it this, and then Shepard's not going to make stuff up. It's going to ask me questions to extract this information out of me. So a user of Ojoy knows this already. I'm making it clear to you because I don't want you to think it's suggesting you just go make up random stuff. All right. So this is cool. So now we're good. Okay. What do I say in the emails though? So let's do what it says. All right. So this is where this tool comes in really handy. So it's telling me what to do. Go to Project Shepherd and paste this stuff in here. So I'm going to do that. Project Shepherd is our copywriting tool that is within Ojoy. Oh, you know what? I forgot I have to copy and paste a landing page in there because it's telling me earlier. It was like, hey, just copy and paste your webinar registration page and sales page and stuff, and it'll take care of it. So I don't have a webinar landing page, but I'll copy my cousin Trey Smith's because he's awesome and he won't mind. There we go. Now, in case I went too fast or whatever, it told me to do this. It was like, I asked it, hey, what do I say in the emails and stuff? And I was like, dude, just go to Project Shepherd, paste in the landing page or sales page, and it'll take it from there. And this is what it's doing. So it's like, all right, what's the name of your high ticket program? I never told it the name before, so I'll just make up something. The high ticket program is called Cousin Party. Seems like a pretty good name to me. All right, so now the instructions are, hey, we gotta write this email sequence, and it's given them my lead generation playbook as a bonus. So it's down here and it's like, okay, is there a discount or bonus structure for this? And it's telling, it already knows they're getting the lead generation playbook. It's just seeing if there's anything else. So I'm just going to tell it they're getting the lead generation playbook. It's never been released to the public before, and it is brand new and unique to them. Okay, and now it's asking me about the bonus, which we haven't created, but if you remember, it told us how to make the bonus using Project Shepherd. I don't want to bore you, so I won't make you watch me do that process, but let's just say it is a 42-page PDF that gives them the exact strategies they need to attract leads with money that are perfect for their type of business, even if they're not famous. So it's very concise. There's no fluff. It just tells them exactly what to do. That's the big benefit. All right, so it's asking me for some more clarification. So the objective of this email sequence is just to get them to go and write, or rather go and attend the webinar. The webinar does all the heavy lifting. And now it's continuing to do its job, which is getting to know who we're writing to, because it would be totally different if you're writing to strangers versus people who already know you. This is going out to my email list. Some are longtime subscribers, some are new, but generally speaking, they are coaches and consultants who are trying to scale to high ticket. And now it's asking us about the type of tone we want to use. Here's my recommendation to you. This works better for me, which is don't worry about the tone of the messages yet. Just get it to A, give you an outline, then make sure the outline has the right stuff in the right order. B, write a rough draft for just one email, and then change the style and tone of that one email to your liking, and then have it write the rest of them. It's way easier. I'll show you. Okay, so check this out. I want to worry about the style later. What I want you to do now is just give me an outline for the first email and the last 2 emails. The reason I'm not asking for all 7 emails is because I just want to make sure that the last 2 emails are more scarcity driven. All right, cool. The outlines look totally fine. So now I'm going to have it write a rough draft of the first email, and I don't care how it sounds. It's so important when you're doing anything with AI in terms of writing. All right, cool. Go ahead and write me a rough draft of the first email and make it very easy to read, like a 6th grade reading level. And that's it. Go for it. All right, so at this stage, we can mess around with the tone and the style. Now, you might be wondering why it's signing off from Trey. It's because I just ripped off Trey's landing page here. So it's writing this based just on the copy that you see here. But let's go ahead and just as an example, I'll show you how we could start making these a little bit better just in case you want to. I'm going to give you the copy for the landing page again. Read through it really thoroughly and find every imaginable benefit on there and tell me what they are. So look at this. It extracted 33 reasons why they should go watch this webinar just from the webinar registration page copy, which is great. So with that said, all right, what I'd like to do, just to make it super cool and to show you how to do cool stuff, is all right, that's great. What I want to do is I just want you to outline the first email for me again, and I want you to make it really heavy on the benefits. We don't need to list all 33. I think all these benefits are awesome. So just use the coolest ones. Okay, this is perfect. All right, great. I want you to write me a rough draft of this email. Let's use the subject line, free gift for you, never seen before. Now, if we had already made the bonus, I would give Project Shepherd the bonus, and we would get the benefits of the bonus itself, and then we would further make the email copy awesome, but I haven't made the bonus yet. But this is solid. There's really nothing to rewrite here, but I'll show you how to mess around with the style and tone anyway. Here's one really fun way to do it. Okay, cool. Now, what I want you to do is come up with 10 absolutely over-the-top, outrageous direct response subject lines for this email. These subject lines need to be so attention-grabbing that if someone was on the way to watch the birth of their firstborn child and their email notification went off and they glanced at their phone while sprinting down the hospital corridor and they saw that subject line, they would actually stop and read the email. It needs to be that good. Use every trick in the book except for any form of dishonesty. And give me 10 of the best you possibly can, just the subject lines. Now, really, this copy's solid, man. I mean, it doesn't really need much. That's awesome. We didn't have to change the style other than me telling it to write simple. But let's have a look here. Okay, so I like number 2 right here. I like the first one, actually, but just to show you how you can make stuff really crazy, do this. Okay, I want you to use subject line number 2, and then I want you to make the email match the style and tone of the subject line. So the opening needs to match the expectations that are set by that subject line. It still needs to make the offer and have all the benefits and everything, same structure, but just use that same level of intensity and aggression in the next draft. So as you can tell, this is way different, and the only change I would make to this is this. All right, cool, this is excellent. I would start the email with, "I'm done watching coaches and consultants kill themselves for pennies." Everything else is great. Keep it so that the width of the body copy is no more than 500 pixels or so. So it'll be easy to read. So really what I'm trying to tell you is just format this so it's easy to read. Use line breaks and stuff like that. So now this is killer because we don't have to do all this with the rest of the emails. We can just be like, write the rest of the emails in the same fashion. With that in mind, write the rest of this entire email series in the same style and aggressive tone that you used with this one. I forgot to tell it to format it the same too. And format the emails the same way you did this one as well. And man, it's written the whole thing for us, and they're all awesome. Now, with every AI output, personally, I like to go back and manually tweak things and stuff. So in my opinion, this is 98% perfect, but surely there's something I would change in these. And in fact, there's one thing we can do now, because it would be silly not to. Hey, in the PS of the first 3 or 4 emails, include all of the benefits that you listed earlier, but write them in a cool way. This webinar is freaking awesome. They're going to learn a lot on there, and they need to know. So in the PS after the final call to action, say something like, "This webinar is really freaking cool. Here's some of what you're going to learn," and then list 5 bullet points to give the benefits, and then maybe put a call to action, and then list 5 more, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, do that for the first 3 or 4 emails. And dude, it did. Look. So now we've got all of these benefits that resell, hey, go watch the webinar. Because if you remember, the sales process is they watch the webinar, then they book a call, and then they buy stuff. So everything needs to point to getting them to watch the webinar. Now I'll show you one more thing that's really cool that Ojoy can do for you. And that's this. It can format your emails as HTML so that they look super cool, and it can put CTA buttons and stuff like that. So I've copied the address for the webinar, and watch this. Awesome. Please format the first email as HTML. I want you to use bold and italic text wherever you feel appropriate. Let's use some kind of an icon or something if possible for the bullet points. And let's make the CTAs a red button. So let's do that. And let's make them link to the URL I'm about to give you. Oh, and let's make sure that the maximum width is 500 pixels. And how do you like them apples? So now our email looks like badass, and it actually links to the webinar itself, or the registration page rather. So you can do that or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, think about what we just accomplished. We came to Ojoy and we had a specific thing we wanted to accomplish. 35 grand in 2 weeks. It asked us all kinds of stuff about our sales process, found out what we had to work with, found out exactly how many sales we needed, and then told us exactly what to do, which was run this special campaign with the bonus. We also got the instructions and blueprint for deploying the entire campaign. And then we gave it to Project Shepherd, and Project Shepherd wrote us freaking awesome emails, which you don't have to go like that crazy about messing with the emails as I did, but I just wanted to show you how cool this is and help you out if you don't write good emails. That's how you write good emails. So all of that solves this problem of being stuck. You don't have to take another course or hire a consultant or whatever. You just need to use Ojoy.ai because it just knows how to do this stuff. Tell it what you want to accomplish. Let it find out about your business. Give it your stats and your numbers as best as you can. And then it'll tell you what your lowest hanging fruit is, whether it's to send a promotion or to maybe fix the conversion on your sales page, whatever it may be, and it'll freaking do it for you by telling you what to paste into Project Shepherd, and then of course Project Shepherd writes your copy. It's awesome, and you can find it, you'll never guess where, at Ojoy.ai. So I think you got a couple choices. Number one, stay stuck. Number two, buy a course. Or of course you could hire, an expensive consultant, and most of them are very good. That's expensive, but then you still have the thing about implementing. Like getting told exactly what to do is great. Implementing it is not as great, because what if you don't know how? What if you don't have time? Or dude, what if you just don't want to deal with it? Like, that's actually the reason that I built Ojoy. So it wasn't for the public initially. It was for me, because my client load demanded that I write a lot of copy. And I've been writing copy for 26 years, but it's still hard. And sometimes I don't feel like it. And I had Project Shepherd built for me so I could write more copy without sacrificing quality. So regardless, pretty sure this is the only solution in the world that can actually, based on your business, find the one thing to do to get results as fast as possible, and then tell you what it is, tell you how to do it, and then help do it for you. Pretty sweet. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And if you want me to make one that shows how I would go about using Ojoy, and specifically Project Shepherd and other tools within Ojoy, to create something like the bonus that was mentioned here, or lead magnets or whatever, let me know. I'd be happy to. All right, cool. Take it easy.